Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bahrain Now. With me, your host, Bara Abdulla. We've got a great show coming up featuring great local talents, initiatives, and happenings from around the kingdom. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, our upcoming guest is a powerful Bahraini woman who is here to leave her mark in the sports industry. Fatma Riyadh, acclaimed as the only female assistant coach for men's team in any national team. We're joined by the basketball coach herself tonight to share more details of her incredible, beautiful, and exciting journey. Fatma, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
It's a delight, to be honest. It's an honor to know more about you. And you've been pretty much a very prominent, I would say, a famous topic for a lot of sports people around the region. Yes. Maybe even here right now, what's going on in the Middle East. A lot of interviews, a lot of things happening here.
Yes.
So we're pretty much proud of you and we've been
Thank
doing
you.
in the basketball field. So tell us more about your journey.
So yeah, I started playing basketball like back in 2004. So I used to go to practices with my mom. She used to coach the national team of Bahrain, the ladies team. So I used to go and see what goes around in the practice. I fell in love with basketball. So yeah, I started there.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it all started with your legendary mother.
Yes, my mom.
Much
yes.
Coaching the team and making it happen and just putting a lot of effort, and you were just part of that effort itself.
Yes.
So beside that, you never thought of another profession in other sports. It was always basketball, right?
No, I used to swim for the national team of Bahrain. We were the first national team to compete in competitions in GCC and Arab nations. So I did that, and I did taekwondo. I have second black belt, yes.
Wow.
Yes, and I used to be in the national team as well, but since I've been around basketball, I fell in love with basketball because all of the strategies and all that, and I was like, no, this is it.
Wow. So swimming, I think it's called second dan in taekwondo.
Yeah.
So you did taekwondo, black belt, second dan,
yes.
Swimming.
Yes.
And now you went to the basketball field.
Yes.
But you didn't go as a player or an athlete. You pretty much focused to be a coach.
No, I started as a player. Yes, I started as a player. I played in Bara Club, Head Club, and Najma Club. So then in 2014, I felt it's the right time for me to switch into coaching. Yes.
What was that moment? What made you think that?
Like the moment is I had a target. Like my target is to be a certified basketball coach, because we didn't have female certified basketball coaches. So I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take the first step and do it.
That was so smart and awesome.
It was so challenging.
I'm sure of it.
Yes.
So that was brilliant. I love that. I mean, the fact that you saw there is a need and there is a niche, plus there's pretty much like a future to that, and you're paving the way. You're like the first in history.
Yes.
So that was amazing. I mean, I think that's phenomenal. Now you decided, you saw the opportunity, and all of a sudden, that's it. I'm gonna make it happen. How was the reaction of your mother, of your friends, your family? So
yeah, my mom, Samira Asiri, I had her full support. She was even telling me, I'll give you some tips along the way. I'm like, okay, mom. And then coming into coaching itself, the other coaches, they did not accept me at the beginning. It was a bit weird to have a female coach among all the male coaches, so they didn't accept me at the beginning. But now I have their full support. Every coach in Bahrain.
You broke a tradition there.
Yes.
You are paving the way. You are writing history. Everything you do right now is happening for the first time.
Yes.
How does that feel? Like the first coach, the first assistant coach, the first person to do this. It must be exciting, but at the same time maybe scary?
Yes, I'm getting a lot of attention, but at the same time, it's scary. It's so scary because I need to prove myself. Like, I don't want to get this because I'm the first female coach. I want to get this because I deserve to be here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And it goes without saying, do you feel there are going to be other women and female coaches who will take your lead as well?
Hopefully, yes. I'm like I hope يعني for more females to be in the career basketball coaching, but still they might find it a bit scary because they're scared of the attention they might get. So
especially at basketball so far has been the impression they're getting, which is not entirely true. It's a male-dominated field, right? So maybe some female trainers would like to get in, but they'll feel like, well, there's a lot of males going on there.
Exactly.
How is the perception? What's going to happen? It's very understandable. But again, everything you're doing right now, you're just paving the way for everybody to say and see that, hey, it's doable.
It's doable, yes. And I hope so. And we get more basketball female coaches. I really want that.
Amazing, amazing. Now, I've been seeing a lot of your interviews, checking your Instagram and see what's happening over there. You're not only doing it as a job, you're doing it like as a profession.
Yes.
Like apparently, and it seems very clear to me and to a lot of people, you have a clear vision and you know where you're heading with this. Like, I don't know, it seems like someday we'll see you even in the NBA.
Hopefully, inshallah.
So what are you pretty much planning for? Now you're doing this, but any more plans coming ahead?
So my next plan is to be the head coach of any first team. So it's a bit hard to get there, but I'm licensed, so I have level 2 from FIBA certificate. So I'm licensed to be there. But I need more people to believe in me, like to give me the opportunity to do that.
Amazing. Which I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people inspiring you even more.
Yes.
But speak of inspiration, now beside your legendary mom, the coach Samira herself, do you see that other, like I would say, other inspirations you're taking for, like maybe other coaches outside, maybe in the States or in Japan or other countries that you look up to and like, hey, we're going to reach there?
See, my idol is Coach Salman Ramadan. So he taught me everything from A to Z.
Wow.
So he's been there all the way. Anything I needed, everything, he was there.
Amazing, amazing. And he saw it in you, that's it.
Yes.
I mean, and he is writing history with you right now. The really exciting times, if I have to say, really exciting times. Now, let's go to the court itself. Let's go to the basketball, to the action, to the battlefield, right? Now, of course, we're not going to ask you to give any tips or strategies, you know, that is pretty much the recipe.
Right?
I
can't do that.
But now, do your athletes know you have a Taekwondo black belt second dan?
I don't think they know about that.
Now
but
they do.
Now they would know.
So it's like, okay.
They will start teasing me about it.
Or pretty much be more careful with you right now.
Maybe.
You know, because, you know, they don't want to lose their legs.
Yes.
So does that really help, pretty much being a coach with a background of swimming and Taekwondo, to be a coach for basketball? Or is that totally different two worlds?
It's different two worlds, but I have the knowledge, the background, the sports background, so it would help in basketball, but it's totally different. Like the strategies, like the offensive and defensive strategies are totally different. The way you prepare for basketball is different than any other sport.
Okay.
So you cannot compare it to any other sport.
You know what he said earlier, Offset, is that it requires intelligence.
Yes.
To put a strategy.
Yes.
For a match, and each match is different than the other.
Exactly.
And it's like going into a war, actually.
Exactly.
Tell us more about that.
So, okay, whenever I'm standing on the line, I have to read the court. I have to read what the other team is doing. So I know how to direct my players, what to do in their next play. So it's like reading the game all the way through and giving directions to your players and try to give them the point without messing up.
Oh wow! Oh wow! And it seems like you're very direct.
I'm very direct and very. You don't want to see me in court.
I'll just you know what? Maybe when is your next match?
In a month.
In a month.
Yes.
Okay, let's put that in our calendars.
Yes.
And pretty much and go there and see what really happens on the battlefield.
You don't want to see that.
Definitely, definitely. Well, honestly, we can talk forever, but you know. We would like to know your last words or any advice to your viewers right now.
So my advice to Bahrainis is to let their kids play sports. Let them try more than one sport. Let them see what their passion is, and to stay healthy and move on.
Move on.
Yes.
Be inspired. You are such an inspiration to all of us, Fatma. Seriously. So we're proud of you. We're excited for your future. And as you are right now paving the way for a lot of exciting new things we're about to see. So I guess now the only thing we got to do is just to go to your next match, see what's going to
Yes,
happen.
I'll get you VIP tickets.
VIP ticket. Oh God. Oh God. No, as if I was not excited. Look, I got goosebumps. Well, Fatma, thank you so much for joining us right here.
Having me.
It's been a pleasure, most definitely.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, writing history right here with the assistant coach Fatma Riyad, taking place right here on Bahrain Now with amazing stuff. All that for the future of basketball here in Bahrain. Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by more incredible female figures making their way up. With Iman Leblouchi is a researcher, educator, and has recently been a part of the Lapland International Forum for Education Live 2022, experiencing all that with the Finnish educational system and the different teaching practices. So, Iman, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm great. How are you?
I am super excited and ready to learn more from you right now. Tell us
Great.
more about yourself.
So I'm currently a lecturer and instructor, and I'm also the chairperson of iLearn Academy,
Oh, wow.
an establishment aimed to develop students' linguistic skills and help them overcome learning difficulties in acquiring different languages, Arabic or English.
Wow,
Yeah.
that intro alone, we can have a full episode just about you with that
Thank
kind of
you.
stuff. Now, apparently you've been doing a lot with the educational system, special needs, sign language. I'm like, where to start?
Thank you.
You're giving us a lot to talk about today here.
I'm glad to talk about it.
Oh, thank you. So, but recently you've been to Finland.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's going on over there? What happened?
Yeah, so as a passionate educator, especially around the area of primary education, I heard about this like strong reputation that the Finnish educational system has, and I was like, you know what, it will be great to go and see how it is like there and just like think of some insights to bring back to Bahrain.
Okay.
And I read a lot about like how they are the best in the PISA international assessments. They
Interesting.
achieved above average in reading performance and
Wow.
equity in education.
That's a lot.
And what makes it interesting in Finland is that, for example, if you go to a school and they have this like high achievements in reading and whatsoever, and then you get on a local flight like 2 hours up south and then same level with a margin of like 7% different.
Really?
So yeah, they've created an educational system that not only works in like specific school, but around like the country of Finland. Different building, different teachers, different students, doesn't matter. It works, and they have these high scores. So I was like, you know, I need to go there and learn
Yeah.
from that, you know,
That is
hopefully bring it back.
very, very interesting. I mean, back in my time, I mean, I'm not that old, but not that young at the same time. We always been taught that, you know, when it comes to educational systems, we've been pretty much brought up with the names of, oh, you have to go to UK, US, Japan, and
Yeah.
even, and you know, when it comes to the regional parts of the world, and we're gonna go to Egypt,
Yeah.
right? And there's a time where Iraq
Yeah.
was pretty much advanced in
Yeah,
educational systems, but now things have changed.
Yeah.
So you said the Finnish educational system pretty much gets
Yeah.
the reputation for that, and you went there to see it up front, face to
Absolutely,
face.
yeah.
I mean, what gave you that spark to do it? I mean, yes, we've been reading about it, but what gave you that push to go there?
Well, I saw the look, I had a look at their websites, and
Okay.
it wasn't just like a normal kind of conference that you go to. It's like includes job shadowing. So we actually went to different primary schools. We had a look at how the teachers are teaching, their curricula, their frameworks. We met with the directors, how the national curriculum is built. So different kind of like policy makers and stakeholders around that educational system. So I was like, that's not like just a normal conference that I can attend from home on Zoom. You know, it's something that I need to get, you know, there and go and, you know, have that and kind of like look at.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank
That
you.
is just phenomenal. Actually, you took that approach and you went for it. Now, if there's one thing that you notice that is different than what we've been used to or what we've been taught, what would be that one thing that brings up the Finnish education system to a pinnacle moment?
Yeah. So when we talked to the expert there in Finland, they told us that 3 decades ago, they were actually very poor. Like I think once some person said that a parent would not afford to have 2 children go to school because they can't afford to have to buy them shoes.
Wow.
But over the past of like 25 years, now they've just like made a huge breakthrough. You know, they became the best, and they said, we did not want to be the best. We just wanted a system that works for us and to produce like, you know, good candidates for like our economy and our country, and that's how they did it. And I think the key point is that they focused their funding on the educational sector. And so the school system there has like really good funding from the government. And that allowed them to have like around 25 students in each classroom.
Right.
So it shows you that the focus of the, you know, the learning process is the students itself, rather than just like, you know, having 35 or like 40 students in the classroom. If a teacher also with a co-teacher is teaching 25 students, it's so different than having like one teacher teaching 35 students, of course. Yeah.
That's a lot of differences. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, that's a big leap right there.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's pretty much from an educational system.
Yeah.
Now, you came back not only from Finland. I'm sure you've been exposed to a lot of systems.
Yes.
And you being a sign language instructor and a lot of structures in different fields.
Yeah.
Let's focus on English right now as a language. Now, how did this affect you as an instructor for the English language, and how can you actually perceive for the immersion of the language?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much right now using English as a medium, right, we can speak. It's pretty much, I would say, a very interesting topic to hear from you right now.
Yeah.
So how can you do that?
So something interesting I noticed in the Finnish educational classrooms that when they were teaching the students English, they asked the students to translate it to Finnish in the classroom. And that's like a whole like kind of taboo in our classes, right?
Yeah.
And it's made sense to me because sometimes like even us, like when we're talking about a certain topic and then someone asks us to like say it in Arabic or like translate it, we're just like, you know, we struggle, right? And like having the ability to be so fluent in both languages is like something amazing, right?
Interesting.
And learning that from a young age is something really good. So I'm thinking of more like integrating Arabic, giving the students some translation activities. It will not only just help them in developing their English skills, but also using the knowledge that they have in Arabic and transfer it to English, you know?
Okay.
And then they will be able to like share their true identity and self through that language, right?
That was very interesting. As right now, let's say from the 90s all the way, let's say from late 80s all the way to the 2000s, as a lot of parents, what they would do, they will focus more on teaching their kids English more than anything else, and even them teaching them English with their English. Yeah. You know? So we end up with kids speaking, I would say, Arablish or Arabizi.
It's true, yeah.
So not focusing on one language, pretty much being, I would say, broken both languages.
Exactly.
But instead of like being focused on one, you have this like a gray area that's so big. At the end of the day, you see them just speaking in both languages at the same time and coming up with their own kind of system.
So I think it's a good idea to just like help the students understand that this word actually means that in English and in Arabic. It will help them develop fluency in both languages.
Okay.
And I mean, like the Finnish students are actually multilingual. So not only they speak Finnish, Swedish and English, they also learn a fourth language, and they are fluent in all of them. So some of them choose Chinese, some of them choose Italian, and I was like, wow, we only like have 2 languages and we're struggling with them, you know? Maybe we just like need to sometimes raise our standards. Maybe we can still introduce a 3rd language and our students will surprise us.
That is very exciting and very interesting what you have right here. I mean, introduces us to a really new way of doing things and approaching things, instead of like a really one linear way of doing it and learning. It has to be this, read the book and memorize it and come second day, just give us what you memorized.
Exactly.
You're actually giving us an immersion and making our brain works both the left and the right side, which is very smart of you. I mean, really appreciate that. Now, special needs. And that's another way you pretty much you've been focusing on, right? How did that help you with the special needs? Is it different?
Yeah, so the way that the classrooms are set up in Finland is something very unique and different.
Right.
So there were like 2 classrooms that share like the same kind of area, no actual wall that separates them. And in the middle you have this seating area with like sofas and like, you know, like flexible seating, and then there is like the special education teacher who's present throughout the lessons.
Okay.
And they have these like 3 levels of support, like the general support, and then intensified support, and then special support. And
Right.
depending on the students, what kind of support they have to give them, and then they will just provide that constantly through the learning process. And I remember we were asking like some of the special education experts, and we were like, what's the percentage of students who are receiving special education support? And he was like, if you ask me that, I will answer you with 100%.
100%.
I was like, what? And I was like, wow, right?
Whoa.
And he was like, say that there's a student that is absent for 1 day,
Yes.
and he missed some of the objectives that we covered yesterday,
Right.
right? So we refer him to the extra support, right?
Mm.
Does that say that he received extra support? Yes. Does that label him as someone with special needs? No,
Interesting.
you know. So it's more about, you know, not giving more instructions, but like diversifying our instructions and
Right.
helping the students build their like knowledge without labeling them. Oh, this student is like needs more help, I'm just gonna remove them from the classroom. No, it's like a process where we help each other and guide each other until we reach the same goal all together at the same time. And I think that's something we need to work more here as well.
I totally agree. That's beautiful. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Now, right now, you're just getting me all juiced up with all this information.
Thank you.
You've been to the conference, you've been exposed to all this beautiful experiences, and now you're back after the conference, after the talks, and you know what you've been through, and you're here today. If you want to change something, or you want to give us some tips in how to be better teachers, or how to have a better educational system, what would that be?
So I have 2 pieces of advice. The first one
Okay.
is actually for the teachers and the stakeholders that actually evaluate the teachers. What I witnessed in Finland, there is no such thing as teacher evaluation. Oh, we attended your lesson, you're gonna get an A or a B or C. There is certain feedback that's given to the teacher, and that's it, you know? Because there are so many factors surrounding that.
Right.
And I think that will help the teachers be more relieved, you know?
Yeah.
And give really into the classrooms and like, you know, develop their personalities as professionals of educators, not just like as a really excellent teacher versus not so good, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's something from like teaching perspective. And what also I witnessed something that's really great, and I really want it to be implemented more here in schools, is the trust and responsibility that I witnessed in the classrooms.
Trust and responsibility.
Yeah, so the principals trust the teachers, and the teachers trust the students, and the parents trust the whole educational system. It's just like a system built on trust, no like pointing fingers, it's not working because of the teacher, or it's not working because of this or that. But everyone is trusting each other and having that kind of responsibility to work together as a nation to develop a whole educational system. Because if you think about it, if we develop our educational system,
Right.
it's not just going to be a separate kind of segment in our country or society. It's something that's going to influence our country.
Integrated.
From economical perspective, industrial perspective, all around, you know. So maybe as a nation, we also need to come together and work on that.
Okay, that was just phenomenal.
Thank you.
Like just hearing it right now, I'm like, wow, very articulated, very clear. And yeah, the only thing we have to do is just let's make it happen. Let's
Yeah.
take the action, definitely.
Yes, together, starting with, you know, certain individuals and on a national level.
Awesome, great.
Yeah.
What about future plans? Anything planned out?
I'm starting to develop a new workshops following the Finnish educational system, targeted for teachers and for students using robotics that are built using sustainable energy. So that's something that's going to be the first in Bahrain. Yeah.
Robotics.
Yeah.
Is there something you did not tap into yet?
A lot of things.
Okay. Well, it seems pretty
In
much
time,
you took like an entire scouting kind of tour around everything, and you're just gonna like check them one by one at the very end. I wouldn't be surprised if you even have like nuclear kind of engineering on the side. Like, you're gonna come.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, I think we need to like focus more on developing these skills for our students and just like broaden their knowledge, teach them entrepreneurship skills maybe.
Okay, yeah.
And develop that kind of, you know, give them that responsibility and trust that they can develop themselves in different kind of areas as well.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Iman, this has been a very inspirational talk, if I may say, or say the least. Any few words to your viewers? Last words, advice,
Yeah.
tips?
I think we should all like come together, like I said,
Okay.
as a nation. Like, if the Finnish can do it, I mean, what makes us different? I mean, we
So
have
true.
the resources and we have the intelligence and the ability. So, we just need to make a decision to make it happen and just, apply that kind of transformation.
Wow. Well, I'm inspired. I'm sure a lot of us right now who are watching this are inspired too. Iman, thank you so much for being with us right here on Bahrain Now. It's
Thank
been
you.
such a
Pleasure.
delight.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to change and implement and pretty much maybe even have more advancements in the educational system. All that took place with Iman Blushi right here on Bahrain Now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed that episode as much as I did. Don't forget to reach us out on our social media accounts shown below and stay tuned for more happenings right here on Bahrain Now. I'm Bara Abdullah. Till next time, Bahrain, goodbye and God bless.